You lie there, eyes tracing invisible patterns on the ceiling, the kind of patterns that only appear when sleep refuses to come. The room holds its breath with you. Somewhere beyond the window, a car passes, tires on wet asphalt, making that soft, tearing sound. Then nothing. Silence returns heavier than before. Your phone is silent too, but its presence presses against the nightstand like an unspoken demand. You could reach for it. You have reached for it before, in moments exactly like this, hoping for distraction, for proof that someone somewhere is awake and thinking of you. But tonight, the hand stays still. Tonight, the restlessness has no easy escape. It is not dramatic, this feeling. No great tragedy has occurred. No one has left you. No catastrophe has struck. Yet there is a hollow place beneath your ribs that expands when the world grows quiet. You notice it most in the aftermath of events that should fill it. A concert where the sound was perfect, the lights choreographed, the crowd synchronized in its euphoria. And yet when the house lights rose, you walked out alone inside your skin. A holiday dinner where glasses clinked and laughter rose in pleasing waves. And yet the warmth stayed on the surface, never sinking deep enough to thaw what had frozen long ago. A rooftop party under strings of bulbs, everyone beautiful in the golden light. And yet the moment you stepped away to breathe, the circle closed without you, seamless, as though your absence changed nothing. When did celebration stop including everyone by default? The question floats up like smoke from something smoldering deep inside. You do not force an answer. You let it drift. Let it brush against memories you rarely visit. A village square in summer, long before your birth, reconstructed from stories your grandmother told, in a voice gone quiet now. Lanterns hung in trees, tables dragged outside, children running between legs, old men playing cards under the moon, women swaying to music no one had recorded. No guest list, no velvet rope, no capacity warning. If the night was warm and the music playing, you came. Your face belonged because it was there, lit by the same fire as every other face. You exhale slowly, deliberately. The breath leaves you cooler than it entered. Let your shoulders drop a fraction more into the mattress. There is nowhere else they need to be right now. Modern joy arrives with conditions. You feel them, even when they are not spoken. The right outfit to be photographed in. The right enthusiasm to match the moment. The right caption to prove you are happy. Happiness itself has become performance, and performance requires rehearsal, and rehearsal requires separation from the simple act of being. You watch others dance and wonder if your own movements would look foolish. You watch others laugh and wonder if your laughter would sound forced. You watch others belong and feel the quiet panic of not knowing the steps. The circle has grown small and selective. It must be curated to remain beautiful. Beauty, you have been taught, requires editing. Exclude the awkward. Exclude the tired. Exclude the grieving. Exclude anyone whose presence might blur the aesthetic. The remaining faces smile for the same lens, and the lens smiles back. And the illusion holds until morning when the feed refreshes and the circle redraws itself without you. Let your jaw soften now. Let the tongue rest behind your teeth. Let the small muscles around your eyes release their grip. You are not here to judge the present. You are only here to feel its texture. The texture is thin, brittle. It cracks under pressure. And the pressure is constant. Not the pressure of survival, but the pressure of being seen correctly. Of being likable. Of being memorable in the right way. Of being worthy of inclusion the next time. Breathe in for 4 slow counts. Hold without strain. Release for 6. Again. The ancestors did not live without pain. Do not imagine they did. Teeth rotted. Children died in the night. Winters arrived like punishment. Hands bled from labor that never ended. So feuds simmered for generations. Jealousy twisted faces in the firelight. Someone was always hungry. Someone was always cold. Someone was always mourning. And yet, the circle held them anyway. Not because they were good, not because they deserved it, because the darkness was too large to face alone, because the cold was too deep to endure separately, because the harvest could fail, and the wolves could come, and the river could rise, and no single body was strong enough to meet those threats. Belonging was not sentiment, it was physics. The group generated heat. The group amplified sound. The group multiplied courage. A single voice raised in song could become a chorus that pushed back the silence. A single hand extended could become a chain that pulled someone from the edge. So they gathered. Not because everything was perfect, because everything was not. Winter solstice. The night refuses to end. Snow lies thick on the ground, muffling sound, making the world seem smaller and safer. Inside the houses, hearths burn low. Outside, in the center of the settlement, a greater fire has been built. Logs too large for ordinary nights are dragged from the edges of the forest, stacked with care, lit with embers carried from the oldest hearth. Smoke climbs straight up at first, then spreads like a low ceiling when it meets the cold air. People emerge wrapped in furs, in wool, in whatever keeps the wind from stealing breath. They carry lanterns, torches, baskets of food saved for this turning of the year. No announcement is needed. The light calls them. The smoke calls them. The first tentative drumbeat calls them. They form a ring around the blaze. And not a perfect circle. Some stand closer, some farther, but a circle nonetheless. Children weave between legs, laughing at nothing in particular. Young men posture, showing strength in small ways. Lifting a log higher than necessary. Throwing another onto the fire with more force than required. Women move with quiet authority, distributing bread, pouring drink from clay jars, touching shoulders as they pass. Elders sit on benches brought from nearby houses, blankets across their knees, eyes reflecting flame. Someone begins a chant, low, repetitive. A sound more felt than heard at first. Others join. The rhythm shifts from hesitant to certain. Feet stamp, hands clap. Bodies rock side to side. The circle breathes as one organism. Someone steps into the center and dances, awkwardly at first, then with abandon. Laughter ripples outward. Another joins, then another. Soon the space between bodies disappears. Arms link, shoulders press. Sweat beads despite the cold. There is no performance review. No one films it for later judgment. No one wonders if they look foolish. The dance is not for approval. It is for the simple relief of moving together when everything else in the world stands still or threatens to crush. Grief is present too. A mother whose son did not return from the last raid stands near the edge, tears freezing on her cheeks. No one forces her to smile. No one tells her the night is for joy only. Instead, a woman she barely knows steps beside her, takes her hand, squeezes once. They sway together. The grief is not erased. It is held, shared, made lighter by division. Joy is not cancelled by sorrow here. Sorrow is not erased by joy. Both exist in the same firelight. Both are allowed to speak. Let your own breath deepen now. Let it fill the belly first, then the chest, then the collarbones. Let it leave slowly, carrying tension with it. You do not need to envy them. Their world was brutal in ways yours is not. Disease came without warning and stayed for years. Famine was a neighbor who visited too often. Violence was personal and immediate. Life expectancy was short. Meaning was hard won. But meaning was not optional. The fire was meaning. The song was meaning. The hand on your shoulder at 3 a.m. when the cold had seeped into your bones was meaning. Belonging was not something to achieve. It was the ground you stood on. Nostalgia whispers that it was better then. Do not believe the whisper completely. It lies softly. It omits the smell of sickness, the cry of a child who cannot be fed, the long nights when the fire was not enough to keep death away. Yet the nostalgia is not wrong either. It is your body remembering a state it once knew. The state of being held without needing to earn it, of being seen without needing to pose. of being necessary simply because you were alive and present. That memory lives in your nervous system. It lights up when you witness true belonging, even fleetingly. A street musician playing while strangers dance around him. A protest where voices merge into something larger than anger. A funeral where people stand shoulder to shoulder in rain, not because they must, but because they choose to. In those moments, the old circuitry flickers on. The body recognizes home. And then the moment passes. The circle dissolves. People check phones. People drift away. As people remember appointments, responsibilities, separate lives, the warmth fades, the nervous system dims again. The hollow place beneath your ribs expands once more. Let your eyelids grow heavy, not forced, just heavy with the weight of everything you have carried today. The longing you feel is not for a perfect past. It is for a default assumption of inclusion, for a world where your presence was anticipated rather than negotiated, where your face was expected in the firelight rather than surprising. Modern life has given you freedoms they could not imagine. Freedom to choose your people. Freedom to leave when the circle no longer fits. Freedom to define yourself beyond tribe, beyond village, beyond blood. Those freedoms are real. They are precious. Do not diminish them. And yet the body still remembers the older freedom, the freedom of not having to choose every day whether you belong, the freedom of being claimed by the season, by the fire, by the simple fact of being alive at the same time as others who are also alive. Breathe in. Hold softly. Breathe out. You are allowed to miss that older freedom without betraying the present. The fire in your mind burns lower now. The logs have collapsed into a mound of glowing coals. Sparks lift occasionally, bright and brief, then gone. People sit closer to the ground, wrapped in blankets, leaning against one another. Conversation has become murmur. Laughter has softened into sighs. Children sleep in laps. Someone adds a final small branch to the embers. It catches, flares briefly, then settles. No one announces the end. There is no need. The night has done its work. The longest darkness has been faced together. The promise of returning light has been renewed. One by one, people rise, slowly, reluctantly. They help elders to their feet. They gather children into arms. They stamp out stray sparks. They leave the coals to die in their own time. The circle does not break with drama. It simply releases. Each person carries a small piece of the heat inside their clothes, inside their skin, inside memory. They walk home through snow that glitters under stars. They do not speak much. There is no need. The silence is companionable. You feel that silence now. It is in the room with you. It is in your breath. It is in the slow pulse at your wrist. Let your hands rest open, palms up. Let them receive the quiet. There is nothing left to prove tonight. No belonging to earn. No face to arrange. No circle to enter or defend. Just this breath moving through you. Just this body resting on this bed. Just this moment folding softly into the next. The embers glow faintly beneath ash. Red. Then rose. Then gone. The warmth lingers longer than the light. It lingers in your chest now, small and steady. You do not need to guard it. You do not need to name it. You only need to let it be. Let go of the question. Let go of the restlessness. Let go of the need for an answer. The night is long, but not endless. The dark is deep, but not absolute. And you are here, breathing, held by gravity, held by stillness, held by nothing more than the simple fact of continuing. The embers fade completely. The ash cools. The world turns. Sleep comes like snow falling, soft, unhurried, covering everything without hurry or sound. You do not fight it. You do not welcome it. You simply allow it. And in that allowing, the hollow place beneath your ribs fills, not with answers, not with memory, not with anything you can name, but with the quiet knowledge that once, long ago, and perhaps still somewhere beneath the noise, every face belonged to the circle, including yours. The breath slows, the body softens. The night receives you, and the fire, long since gone to embers, long since gone to ash, leaves behind only warmth. Warmth enough, for now, for sleep.